Welcome to this episode of InsidePTI. Today's topic is how day of emergence affects corn yield. And we have multi-year data to talk about here. Now, how do we determine day of emergence? Well, it's with flag testing. You may have heard of this before. Hopefully you've done it. If you haven't done it, that's going to be our recommendation on our tip today, is to do flag testing. Now, how does it get done? Well, you need a few different colors of flags, and the way we've done it at the PTI farm is basically the plants that emerge in the first 12 hours. Now, I'm going to pause for a moment because sometimes when we say the first 12 hours, people say, how do you get corn to come up within 12 hours? We say the first 12 hours after the first plant emerges, not the first 12 hours after it's planted. So important distinction there. It might be 9 days after planting. If it's cooler, it might be 14. But you get however many days after planting, you go out in a field and you say, ooh, I see plants beginning to emerge. This is the first time. Within that first 12 hours after you see the first plant start to emerge, and say put a blue flag by it. Then go out 12 hours later, anything newly emerged without a flag, put a different color flag. Then go out another 12 hours later, put a different color flag. Another 12 hours, a different color flag. And then anything after that, put another color flag. So basically then you have a 0 to 12, and those we qualify as 100% yield potential. Then you have 12 to 24, 24 to 36, 36 to 48, and 48 plus, right? So then what you can do is follow them to harvest, and then you can take the first 12 hours, harvest those, mark them, set them in one batch, do a yield calculation with weight on those, and then do the 12 to 24, 24 to 36, 36 to 48, and 48 plus separately. And even visually, if you lay them out, here's the 12 hour, here's the 12 to 24, all the way to 48 plus, you'll just see the ears get smaller. And so that's how we conduct this study. Now, what's the yield loss from late emergence? If we take these 12-hour windows over the last few years, what's the yield loss? Well, 0 to 12 is 0. Okay, that's what we're calling good or 100% yield potential. 12 to 24 loses 15% yield potential is what we've seen in doing this flag testing for 3 years. 24 to 36 loses 30%. 36 to 48 loses 78%, and 48 plus loses 90% yield potential, or basically no ear whatsoever. So you can see there that the day of emergence really makes a difference. Now, obviously, this is dependent on GDUs and so on. So this is done in Pontiac, Illinois at our PTI farm. Now, let's talk about the return on investment from getting the emergence to be in that first 12 hours. We can get all the plants up in that first 12 hours. What would the return on investment be? So this is a scenario here. This is theoretical. We didn't do a large-scale study here. But let's just say you average 200 bushel per acre corn on 800 acres. And 80% of your plants today, in the past planting seasons, emerge in that first 12-hour window. 10%, 12 to 24, and another 10% in the 24 to 36. In the 12 to 24-hour window, you achieved 170 bushels per acre on 10% of your acres. So that's on 80 acres, and you lost 2,400 bushels. The 10% that emerged in the 24 to 36-hour window, you lost 4,800 bushels on that 80 acres. So in this scenario, you lost a total of 7,200 bushels of corn just from having 20% of the total plants be past that first 12-hour window. But at $3.75 per bushel for corn, that's $27,000 lost from the 20% of the plants that emerge late. If you let that problem continue on and you have that emergence pattern for 5 seasons, it's about $135,000 in lost revenue that you have. So you can see where trying to get all those plants, or as high a percentage as you can, to emerge in the 0 to 12-hour window and have none that are late is so important, because it'll make you money. Here you can see in 5 years it would cost $135,000. So today's InsidePTI tip of the day is twofold. Number one, it's to do flag testing on your own farm. Find out, do you have these plants that are emerging 24 to 36 to 48 hours late? How many of them are there? How often do they occur? And then come harvest time, manually harvest those ears by hand and see what the yield loss is. Then, once you start to see this, consult with a precision planting premier dealer to find out what's causing those late emergers. Is it residue up against the seed? Is it poor seed to soil contact? Is it downforce management or depth management? Is it closing? And then find those areas of the planter that might be causing the late emergence and work with that precision planting dealer to find out how you can correct those issues so you're not costing yourself that over $100,000. If you have any questions about emergence timing or the emergence systems available from Precision Planting, please talk to a local Precision Planting Premier dealer. If you have questions about this study or any other study, please email us at InsidePTI@precisionplanting.com. Thanks for joining us on this episode, and we'll see you next time on Inside PTI.